Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
If you're gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, my amazing listener. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to episode 285 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. This month, the month of March 2024, my podcasts are all going to be under the one theme. I've decided to try this theming thing for my podcast in year 6 of doing this podcast. And this month's theme is all going to be about amplification. So amplifiers in your business. How can you amplify? Maybe I need to learn how to say that properly if I'm going to do a whole month on it. How can you amplify your business, etc., in the business world, and use these techniques to reach a different audience, to encourage the audience you have now to buy or buy again. So that's what we're going to be about, amplification this month. So I've got some amazing guest interviews to share, and there'll also be some Jen episodes, a bit like this one. I really hope each month that this will work out, because I intend to theme the rest of the year into different things. And I guess one reason why I'm doing it is to help me, but also to help you. Like maybe in a couple of weeks, I will have an episode about speaking as an amplification of your business and your business message. You might be like, well, that doesn't actually apply to me right now, Jen, but I'll have a listen. But then come November, when you're re-looking at your business model, you might think, wow, I really need to go back and have a bit of a listen to that episode. I remember March was all about amplification. That's what I need more of in my business, so I'll go back and listen to those ones. That's my hope. We'll see how we go. February was all about email marketing and list building was kind of the theme. I did go off track a little bit because I had a couple of wonderful episodes I wanted to share with you, but hopefully I can keep on track with this. So you might be thinking, okay, Jen, what do you mean by amplification or an amplifier? What does that actually mean? So for me, it means things like speaking, podcasting, media commentating, referrals, writing books, creating lead magnets, basically anything that amplifies who you are, what you do, and what you sell. It's basically, what do you do to attract people, to attract potential buyers, to attract perhaps your existing customers back into your world. That's what I'm talking about. So amplification or amplifying is probably a very similar way of saying attraction. We're talking about the attraction model in your business at the moment. So today obviously is a solo episode, and the amplifier I'm going to talk about today is, drumroll, social media. Not that surprising really, hey, but I wanted to talk about how you use social media to amplify you and amplify your business. You're probably doing it right now, maybe even really successfully. You are amplifying your business through social media. You are amplifying you through social media, your brand, your message, or perhaps you're not doing it quite so well and you're a little bit overwhelmed. And don't worry, because you're definitely not alone there. But remember, at the end of the day, social media is about being social. So if all you are doing on social media is posting, then I'd say about 50% of your marketing is being done. I know, that's pretty tough, isn't it? But it's a bit like, I don't know about the fuel tank in your car, but it's a bit like the fuel tank in my car. The first 50% is very different to the second 50%. That halfway mark, we seem to lose fuel quicker in the second half. And that's what I mean. Like the first 50% is about creating content and probably take you a lot more time than the second half, which is actually about showing up. It's about showing up for your community. It's about being social on social media. I know, who knew, right? It's about leaving comments and love and likes and sharing some posts with your community. Basically, It is a reach out strategy that treats others on social media the way you would love to be treated. It's that give, ask. If I start doing this stuff on social media, it will help grow my business, but it will also encourage other people to do the same, to be social on social media. But of course, that's not my only point. Here's some other points that I scribbled down about using social media as an amplifier. So the first one is understanding how your story impacts your business. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Or at least they do when it comes to small business owners and small businesses. Unfortunately, as the business grows and becomes a big multinational, multi-international business, we tend to wind back the fact that we need to know, like, and trust these businesses in order to do their business. Or do business with them, I should say. So if you think of something like Woolworths or McDonald's, we don't actually know them. We don't actually potentially like them, as in like the person that's running these businesses, and we may not even trust them, but we shop there. We spend our money there simply because they have something else for us, and that is simplification. They make our lives easy. They make our lives simple. It's an unfortunate truth, but it is the truth. But for you, storytelling is powerful. Stories amplify your message and amplify your business. Now, you don't have to tell your whole story. I come up against this quite a lot where people are like, I don't want to be on social media. Well, the reality is in 2024, you kind of have to. You don't have to show all your warts. You don't have to show everything, but you do need to let people in a little bit. Being a faceless small business owner means that gaining traction and attracting people is slower and sometimes harder going. Work out the bits that you are happy to share and tell, and work out the bits that you're not, and start there. Now, I know when I talk about this in workshops and keynotes, I get a lot of people come up to me and afterwards and say, I'm not sure how I can share like you, Jen. Like, you share so much on social media. But the reality is I don't. That's just the perception. I share, if you look at my life as 100%, I might share, 25%, maybe even lower. There's so much about my life that I don't share on social media because I don't want anyone to know about it, but it just doesn't align, and it doesn't feel like I have to tell people that in order to grow my business. Of course, once you get to know me, you get to know the warts and all, fortunately or unfortunately, but you don't need to tell your whole story, but you do need to let people in a little bit. Now, if you don't know where to start with this, I would encourage you to, in about 3 seconds or maybe 10, press pause and do this. Go get your phone, click record, and introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm the person behind XYZ business. I actually started this business because of ABC. And I bet you there's 3 things that you don't know about, and choose either that they don't know about you or that they don't know about the business. 3-minute video, done, posted. Do not rewatch it and try and make it perfect. It will never work. Just do it. Get it out there. Get used to showing up and telling your story. Amplify your business through consistent storytelling. It's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. Number 2 is know your audience and be where they are. Now, this is going back to the very simple marketing principles that we need to understand. I call them simple, but they're not easy. I get it, but they are simple. The 3 questions you must be able to answer in marketing is: who is your who? Where do they hang out? And what do you want to be famous for? No use trying to amplify your business, tell your story when you are shouting into the abyss, because there is no one interested in what you have to say because you're in the wrong place. Know your people, know where they hang out, tailor content to suit their needs, their interests, that will foster engagement, that will build that community around your brand. That's how you use social media to amplify your business. My 3rd point is to make sure everything is up to date. Did you know that Facebook has just added more characters to your bio on your Facebook page? When was the last time you looked at your bio on your Facebook page? Because it probably looks different now because there's more characters. So, I know some of my characters were missing, like I'd written something longer and therefore it wasn't showing up, but now it is. Go back, check these things. If you're on Instagram, is your bio that's there all about you? Or is it about what you can do for your audience? Is it what you can do for your community? Not you. Social media will only work as an amplifier if the foundations are in order. If someone comes across your content, your bio, or you on social media, but they can't work out who you are, what you do, what you sell, or what's in it for them, then your amplifier is more likely to be a repeller than it is to be an amplifier. You're more likely to chase people away than what you are to attract them because they don't know what's in it for you. It's not that you're a bad person or that you've got bad marketing. They just don't know what's in it for them. We need to make this stuff simple. Okay, 2 more points. Number 4 is use social media to build your network and build loyalty to your brand. These 2 things, building a network and building loyalty, might seem different, but they really aren't when you start talking about them through an attraction model or through amplifiers. No one in your network is ever going to refer you to their customer or their client if they don't like your brand or they don't like the way you're showing up on social media. They might not be your customers parting with money, but they are attracted to you for the same reasons that your customers are, because they align with your values. They have had an opportunity to get to know, like, and trust you. So your network is so entwined with your net worth. And I truly believe that. In fact, there's a whole episode about your network aligning with your net worth. It's episode 71. The link is in the show notes if you want to go and check that one out. Otherwise, there's also a blog on the same topic as well. Link, of course, is in the show notes. And the show notes can be found at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/285. Put some energy into building your network and your business will grow because of it. I absolutely promise you that. Now, before we finish up and get to point number 5, I wanted to talk about one of my amplifiers in business, which is, of course, my new book that is out. Have you got a copy of my new book? It's called Small Town, Big Impact, and it's got 107 marketing strategies in it for regional business success. Now, if you're not a regional business owner, that's okay. It's still got 107 strategies in it that can help you build your business. It's one of my amplifications for this year. It's an amplification of my knowledge. It's an amplification of, my attraction model, attracting people who want to know more about marketing. And of course, my book is one of the ways. If you haven't got a copy and you'd love to get a copy, you can get it on my website, socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. It is available on Booktopia and Amazon, where, of course, you can download the Kindle version as well. But if you come through my website, you'll get a nice little present with it as well, which everyone is loving that receives that little gift from me. So that's my amplification. I wanted to stick that in there because I would really love to share those 107 marketing strategies with you through my book, Small Town, Big Impact. All right, let's get on to number 5 so we can wrap this baby up. Now, I know that I spoke about this on last week's podcast, and it's basically how audiences are dead and it's time to build your community, but I wanted to rehash it here because it's so important. Amplification through social media is really about building a community on social media or from social media. So whether you're building your community online, like my Like-Minded Business Owners Facebook group, or whether you are building it online to take it offline into an email list or into face-to-face events, etc., it doesn't matter. Building community is crucial to your business, and building a community is a crucial amplification as well. Or an amplifier, I should say. Social media is a great place to find people who want to belong to a community just like yours. And communities are great amplifiers of what you do, who you do it for, and why you do it. Probably by the end of 2024, you'll roll your eyes at the amount of times I talk about community building, because it's going to be a lot. I'll put that out there right now, but it's so, so important. So if you're not building community already, if you are not amplifying your message, your business, yourself through building community, then I would highly encourage you to start today. Just start today. Go and have a listen to last week's episode 284, where I talk about amplification as not amplification. I talk about community building as something that you really need to be doing in 2024. Okay, so to finish off, just 13 reasons to use social media as an amplifier in your business. 1, build relationships and stay connected. 2, find your voice. 3, show empathy and kindness. 4, offer support. 5, learn to communicate better and actually communicate better. Number 6, spread good news. Number 7, build your business. Obviously, that's what this whole podcast is about. Number 8, establish your authority. Number 9, drive traffic to your website. Number 10, enhance your customers' experience of your business. Number 11, learn and educate yourself. We're lifelong learners. We've got to be lifelong learners, especially in small business. Number 12, gain some motivation. I get a lot of motivation from social media, whether it's looking at motivational quotes that make me, yes, that really aligned with me, or whether it's watching my network or my community do something and being motivated from what they've actually done or what they're actually trying to achieve. And number 13, find your creative flair on social media. Now, I have so many great episodes coming up in March all around amplifiers, so there will probably be more than one episode a week. So make sure you've clicked the subscribe button so you get notifications for that. And if you're not on my email list, to get the emails each week telling you lots of great stories and also about the new podcast episode that hits or drops, then head to my website and join up. Just if you are listening to this in real time, then Friday is International Women's Day, and I have a very special episode coming out for that. Can't wait to share that with you as well. But really, that's it for episode 285. If you love this episode and found it valuable, please take 30 seconds out of your day and tell someone, share it with someone, or leave me a rating and a review wherever you are listening if that is possible. But sharing this episode with another small business owner would mean just as much as leaving a rating and a review. I'd love to hear from you in my Like-Minded Business Owners Facebook group. If you're not a member, go to Facebook, look up Like-Minded Business Owners and join. Otherwise, of course, the link is in the show notes. And of course, just before I go, did you get a chance to listen to last week's episode? I know I've spoken about it a couple of times. It was basically part 1 of my Marketing in 2024 webinar. It's definitely worth a listen, so head back there if you've got some more time to listen to another episode today. It was episode 284. Otherwise, that's it. I will see you next week for episode 286. But in the meantime, let's get social on social. Come and find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm trying to make a bit of a dive into TikTok, so you'll find me there, or of course on Threads. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peep, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.